snow-packed roads, slick roads.
Lousy now.
If you're heading south to Monument or Colorado Springs, you really are out of luck.
Terrible later.
Overnight, the temperatures are really going to drop below freezing.
After going so long without snow, people sometimes forget how to drive in it.
The first major storm of 2020 has arrived, and it's not leaving anytime soon.
And we begin tonight with that snow. It's rapidly deteriorating out there on the roads. Conditions have taken a dive in just pretty much the last hour, and it's only going to get worse as the night goes on. Good evening, and thanks for watching Denver 7 on this snowy and very cold Monday. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. CDOT warned people to go home early rather than attempting this rush hour traffic, and we'll soon learn just how many people took their advice. 2
deadly crashes were reported even before the roads became snow covered. One in Thornton, the other near Colorado Springs, and it's unclear if the weather was to blame for either, but we know that the roads were definitely slick in both cases.
Now, our crews have you covered north, south, east, and west. We're going to begin tonight with Russell Haythorne in Denver. Russell, we know at least 17 crashes in Denver in the last hour alone. So how's it looking right now where you are?
Yeah, Shannon, and a rough go out there for sure. It's the side street right outside your front door that could give you the most trouble in the morning. That's because, check it out, the snow is already accumulating. The side streets are becoming snow-packed and icy, so you'll want to take it easy if you're heading out tonight or into the morning. We have some video to show you from earlier. Denver launched its heavy plows early this morning. They started loading those with the sand and salt mixture. They're also putting down that de-icer. Denver says those plows will stay out until Wednesday at least for this storm. They'll be out non-stop because this is expected to be such a prolonged event. Also, the side street plows are heading out overnight.
You know, a lot of people expect with the residential plows that they will go to bare pavement, and they're just, you know, they're not equipped to do that. Really what their purpose is to prevent deep ice rutting so that people can access to the main streets.
As for those main streets, check it out. This is one of them, and traffic moving along just fine. It's light at this hour, so that's good. Perhaps people were heading home earlier this evening because CDOT put out that warning that you might get home a little early. The main plows, again, will be out for at least an indefinite period of time, at least until Wednesday, the city says, to keep these roads clear. And then those side plows hitting the streets overnight tonight at 3 a.m. for a 12-hour shift until 3 p.m. tomorrow. That's the latest from Central Denver. Now we'll toss it out to Aurora, where my colleague Jason Grunauer is standing by. Jason, how's it look out there?
Well, Russell, the fat snowflakes have stopped falling, but now it's just kind of a fine, icy snow that is falling and is accumulating here on the roads. We moved down here to 6th Avenue along 225. You said traffic wasn't bad where you were. It's not along 6th Avenue, but it is still very slow up there on 225. A good half hour to get all the way down to I-25 along those roads. They were just wet for a majority of the day, but now it is slushy and it is slick. We talked to some drivers. They said it's really no wonder the city is still on accident alert because of how rough it is out there. Even in this just stop and go traffic, we talked to one. He described it pretty well. Take a listen.
It's pretty slick. It's kind of chaotic. You can't see lanes and stuff like that, but you got those, you know, cocky drivers that think can blow past you and then they cut you off, you know. It's treacherous, I'll give it that.
It's even treacherous just to stand outside for an extended period of time if you're not wearing enough layers. 18 degrees, a balmy 7 degrees of the real feel. Because of that, the snow and the driving conditions, Aurora has canceled their city council meeting. Again, the city is still on accident alert, but they say they have all 43 plows out and working to try to keep these main roads clear. That's the story here in Aurora. As for the broad outlook on this first alert action day, we'll send it back to Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. Mike, are you out in the elements?
I'm out in the elements, yes, and traffic is going a little too fast for comfort on Spear right now. Slow down, folks. It is a cold one out here tonight, and I'll tell you, it's going to get a whole lot colder before it gets much, much warmer. Let me show you the current temperatures outside. We drop it in the teens across eastern Colorado right now, and that is a huge drop from yesterday. Our 24-hour temperature drop anywhere from about 55 to 60 degrees from where we were yesterday afternoon. Along with that, we are getting the light to moderate snow that is falling, and it's slicking up the roads, especially now that darkness has descended upon the Front Range of the Denver area. Tonight, as those temperatures drop down to around 10 degrees, road conditions will be very slippery with several more inches of snow expected. So this right now is perhaps one of the more dangerous times. We've not had the snow for a while. We've got just a little bit of that ice and snow on the roads currently, and that means people drive way too fast for the conditions. So please slow down. Now, one of the heavier spots where the snow has been in Boulder County, with about 4 to 5 inches of snow up in the Boulder area. Let's go to my colleague Ivan Rodriguez for more.
Mike, we're right near 30th and Pearl. You can see 30th here, one of the main streets in Boulder. Snow has been falling here steadily for the last several hours, and you can see it beginning to accumulate here on the sidewalk. A big difference, though, than what we're seeing on the streets. Across the city, snowplows have worked to keep city streets clear, and so far, they've helped keep roads open with traffic moving at a steady pace. Plows will continue working around the clock, prioritizing emergency routes and major streets. The Boulder Valley School District announced today all afternoon preschool classes were canceled, as well as afternoon school activities because of this winter storm. I spoke with one man today who was shoveling the driveway of his home that he bought back in 1997. Today, he's regretting not taking his father up on a gift.
He said he offered to buy me a snowblower for a housewarming present, and I said, no, I'll take care of my 60-foot driveway myself.
And now?
I have my second thoughts on that decision.
It's going to be really cold here tonight. Between tomorrow night and tonight, it's going to be in the single digits. Snow continuing to fall here. For now, let's head to Liz Gilardi. Liz, you're out there in Evergreen. What's it look like out there with you?
Well, you know, within the past hour, the snow has really started to pick up here in Evergreen, and we're just off I-70. I talked with a state trooper who said between 470 and Floyd Hill, that stretch is just getting nasty. And you know, it's difficult enough to drive when your car has the proper traction, but if not, it can be a challenge and just downright dangerous.
You wouldn't want to drive if you couldn't see through your windshield. So why would you drive if your tires couldn't grip the road?
I think it's vital. I think for people's safety, and because there's no way around. With the I-70 corridor, if there's any way around, it's hours and hours, and it's worse conditions than the interstate.
We know about the traction law, but is it working? CDOT says yes.
We really encourage everyone to take this seriously, and based on the numbers, we think maybe people are starting to do that, which is great.
CDOT recently touted the success of a traction law with, should we say, more tread. If you haven't heard, changes to the law went into effect last year, really targeting two-wheel drive vehicles. Those cars need to have winter tires or traction devices from September through May. The law also increased tread depth. We asked the owner of J&D Towing if he's seeing more people playing by the rules.
And I think awareness is way up. I think sometimes people either don't have the means or just don't get the tires done.
Awareness, yes. Compliance, that's the question.
The other thing about the traction law is that I don't know if more people are following it or not, but it seems like it only takes 1 or 2 people, and it messes up.
Isn't that the story? It only takes 1 or 2 people. And yes, the number of crashes might be down for the first part of this winter, but this is something that's really hard to measure. Obviously, there can be other factors such as snowfall and other things at play too. So again, CDOT does say they believe it's working, but we'll just have to wait and see. Reporting live, Liz Gilardi, Denver 7.
All right, Liz, thanks. So that's a look at the roads. DIA, well, it isn't the worst we've ever seen it, but it's certainly not the best either. 500 flights have either been canceled or delayed, and most people we spoke with were still patiently hoping the skies would clear long enough to get them where they're going.
Our flight to Oklahoma City was delayed because we're supposed to connect to go to Nashville, and now they rebooked it to leave here tonight at 8:20 to go to Nashville.
All right, so at last check, that flight is still on track to depart at 8:20. So good luck to that gentleman. And if you encounter any travel nightmares, let us know with an email to contact7@thedenverchannel.com.